And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the
classic.
Hello vinyl community, Alex back again with another video. The first video from the new location, as you can probably tell. Jenny's sitting next to me, so just in case you're wondering where she is, well, you can probably see her legs, I think. But yeah, new video, and I've acquired a lot of stuff since the last time I did a vinyl finds video, so I've got a lot to get through. I won't be able to show it all in one video, so there will be another one very soon once I get the rest of my records from my parents' place, because obviously my collection was too big to do in one trip, and if we had worked out how much stuff I actually had, then you know, we probably could have hired a van, but who knows. Anyway, this video is going to be mostly the new vinyl. Some freebie, 3 freebies, I think. No, more than that. There's a few freebies in it, and then some thrift store finds, which I don't know if we'll be able to get to, but we'll try. This is my second attempt at filming this, because I tried to do this last night, but the lighting was horrible. You could hardly see the albums, so I'm doing this now, that we've got some natural light coming in, so yeah, hopefully we do a good job here. Like I said, it's mostly new vinyl. May not be stuff in here for everybody, but I'll do the best I can. I'll start. I've got 2 things from the Amazon warehouse to show, because obviously they were cheap on Amazon, and I'm always, every now and again I'll look on the Amazon warehouse, see what deals they've got. I've got 4 things from HMV, which that were in the HMV sale, and then a few things from work. And then obviously thrift store finds. So we'll get to those right now. So let's get into it. Kicking it off with the new vinyl. Maroon 5's Songs About Jane's the first one I'm going to talk about. Maroon 5's a band I've had a very weird relationship with, because when this album came out it was everywhere and there was no escaping it. She Will Be Loved, This Love, Sunday Morning were everywhere on the radio, and so clearly you couldn't turn on the radio without escaping them. And then I think they went 5 years without releasing an album, so I kind of forgot about them. And then I wasn't too keen on their second album at first, but after a few more listens, so I didn't really revisit it until later on. And then once they put out Overexposed, their album from 2012, I obviously became a bigger fan. So I've gone back and forth with Maroon 5, but now that I'm fully on board with their stuff, I've been wanting to get all their albums on vinyl. This is one I was missing. It was cheap on Amazon. It is a 2016 repress, because I'm not too fussed about owning originals. But yeah, Songs About Jane I now have on vinyl, meaning I'm only missing 2 of their albums. Yeah. This album, like I said, is their debut. I think originally, I don't remember what label it was issued on originally, but I remember they put this out, and then their second album came out on a different label. I don't know if they got dropped or they had creative differences with the label. I don't know what happened, but they left that label for whatever reason, and after this album came out. But fantastic album. I really like it. I haven't listened to any of these yet, because I don't have my record player with me just yet, so I can't tell you the actual sound quality. But I can tell you what I think of these albums, because I have listened to them digitally, most of them. But yeah, this album's really good. 2016 reissue of Maroon 5 Songs About Jane. No longer my favourite album from them, but because it's their debut and I remember the singles off of this, hearing them on the radio for the first time, obviously I'm gonna, have this album in high praise. So Maroon 5 Songs About Jane is in my collection now. Great album. Next, that was obviously, like I said, that one was cheap on Amazon, as was this. And this is sort of a new discovery for me, artist-wise, because I saw it, it looked interesting, and so I listened to a few tracks and really, dug what I heard. That's Candice Springs, Soul Eyes. This is her debut from 2016. She is a jazz vocalist and a pianist. So with heavy influences from Nina Simone and Roberta Flack. So if you like either of them, you'll probably like Candice Springs. She has 2 tracks on here that feature Terence Blanchard. Obviously the title track Soul Eyes is brilliant. Novocaine Heart is great. Neither Old Nor Young is brilliant. Actually, every song on here is brilliant. She's from Nashville. So that and we all know the music connection of Nashville. Most people are either from Nashville or go to Nashville to record an album, or there's always some musical connection with Nashville. She is from Nashville originally, but she moved to New York to record her albums. Well, she moved to New York to record an EP, and then I think after that she did a couple of tracks with Ghostface Killah from Wu-Tang Clan, and then obviously put this out on Blue Note. So, it's on Blue Note, so it's got to be good, right? But yeah, Candice Springs, very, very good. She is my favourite new discovery of the year so far. When it comes to discovering artists that have been around, I want to say a little while. She hasn't been around that long, but I've only just discovered her, so now it's just a case of tracking down the rest of her albums and giving them a listen. But speaking of Candice Springs, I liked her so much I did in fact get her second album, Indigo. This was cheap in HMV, so I picked that up, also on Blue Note. The 2 opening tracks on here, Don't Need the Real Thing and Breakdown, are the 2 songs I listened to when I listened to it in the shop, and it almost blew my mind as much as her first album did, Soul Eyes. So that just tells you how good this is. Obviously I haven't listened to either of them in full yet, so I can't do a comparison of the 2. She does have a third album that came out this year, but I haven't managed to track that down just yet. I might do at some point, but yeah, this is her second album, Indigo, and because of her voice, obviously, she has a very, very incredible voice. She's always been influenced by a lot of powerful female jazz and soul singers, so Sade's one of her influences as well. And yeah, she just has some incredible stuff. So if you like female vocals and you like vocal jazz in particular, Candice Springs is one to put on your radar, or at least check out, because she does have some great stuff out there. As you can see, I picked up 2 of her albums recently, one from Amazon, the other one from HMV, because it was in their sale, and I wasn't leaving it behind because it was Candice Springs. So finally have those 2. I will get her third album at some point, but I have her first 2 just for the time being. So while we're on the topic of HMV, I do have 3 more things to show, and these 3 are just filling holes in my collection that I've been meaning to fill. So we'll get on with these. Kicking it off, you can probably tell from the back cover what this is if you know it. It's Erika Badou, Badouism. Her debut from 1997. This is the 2016 reissue. Yeah, great album. I've always loved this album. I've never owned a physical copy of it though, like not even on CD. You just don't see it. Originals are crazy expensive, and reissues, when you see them, people are always charging crazy amounts. So when HMV had it knocked down about half price, I jumped at the opportunity to pick it up for myself. Yeah, I saw Motown, and obviously Motown and Blue Note, funny enough, are two labels I always pick stuff up on when I find something new, because I love those labels. But yeah, Erika Badou, Badouism. This is a gatefold. There, I think, there are lyrics on the inside of there. So if you want to learn Erika's songs, they're there, pictures and stuff. And I'm reading a biography about her right now, and that kind of piqued my interest more to try and track down a copy of this. And I finally did. So yeah, Erika Badou's Badouism. Brilliant album, a very, very welcome addition to the collection, and one I'm super happy to have. So yeah, can't say enough about Erika Badou. She's one of the first people, she is the first lady of Neo Soul, and she really kind of brought Neo Soul into into the forefront of into the forefront of music, because it was sort of an underground thing, and then she popularized it. And because Neo Soul was just a way to combine soul and hip hop, so she really connected to both audiences, and then sort of brought out the Neo Soul thing. So yeah, Erika Badou really helped escalate that to a new level, and really brought it to the mainstream. But yeah, she was the first lady to do it. I don't know if she was the first artist to really make it popular, but she definitely helped do that. So yeah, there is that. Next thing I grabbed from HMV is the second album from the 1975, called I Like It When You Sleep, For You Are So Beautiful, Yet So Unaware of It. Yeah, that's the full title. The album from 2016. I actually have not listened to this album in full. I've listened to the hits, and since becoming a bigger 1975 fan than I was, I've been meaning to track down the rest of their albums, because obviously, famously, they haven't been my favourite band in the past. I used to slate them to the high heavens, but now I praise them to the high heavens. Look how that worked out. I never really listened to their music outside of like a couple of tracks. And then early on in 2019, I listened to their most recent album from 2018, and I loved it. So I just went back, rediscovered them, and now they're one of my favourite bands. This album, though, it's not my favourite. It has some of my favourite songs, like The Sound and Somebody Else. She's American's also another great song on here, as well as the song Love Me. But like I said, I haven't listened to this album in its entirety yet. I probably do prefer the first album from them, but I do really like the 1975. There's lyrics on the inner sleeve. I don't know if they show up that well, but I do want to get all my favourite variants of their albums, and this is just the clear vinyl variant. There is a white vinyl variant of this album, but like a box set with some singles and what have you. But I'm just happy to have this one. So yeah, 1975's album. I Like It When You Sleep, For You Are So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It, from 2016. Brilliant album, or very, very welcome addition to the collection. Again, I only need 2 of their albums now before I'm complete. I'm obviously not a big enough fan where I'm going to pay full price for their albums, but when I see them at a price where they're too good to pass up, and it's my favourite variant of the album, I'll pick it up. But yeah, so happy to finally own their second album on vinyl. The last thing from HMV, which again you probably just saw from the back cover, Rihanna, Good Girl Gone Bad. I remember when this came out in 2007, Now this is the 2017 reissue, but I remember when it came out, and I was obsessed with Rihanna. I think I had a massive crush on her, like back when this album came out, and I don't think that crush ever really went away. Sorry, Jenny.
What?
I was just saying how I used to have a crush on Rihanna.
So did everyone.
And that it never really went away.
So did everyone.
But yeah, this obviously has some songs that were everywhere at the time. Umbrella, Don't Stop the Music, Shut Up and Drive, Hate That I Love You, which features Neo. Yeah, great album from her. If I've wanted some of her stuff on vinyl already, and I'm happy that this was the first one I picked up, because this has always been my favourite album from Rihanna. So I've wanted to grab it for so long and finally have a copy of it. So yeah, Rihanna, Good Girl Gone Bad. Originally from 2007, but this is, like I said, it's the 2017 reissue. But some great stuff on here, and yeah, I just love Rihanna's music. She's another one I've had like an on and off relationship with, because she's had some great songs in like the middle part of her career, but early on in her career wasn't really a fan, and then her later stuff I'm not really a fan of a lot of that either. But this era Rihanna, I loved it. So yeah, I'm gonna start trying to get a few more of her albums if I can, and this is the first one I grabbed, Good Girl Gone Bad. So super stoked to add that to my collection. Okay, 2 more new albums, and then we'll get on to the second-hand stuff. Basically, there's a distributor in Germany that my shop has been, well, the shop I work at, I should say, has been dealing with recently, and I grabbed a couple of things from there as well, because, well, how can I pass them up? First one, Nas Nostradamus, because I didn't have enough Nas in my collection. This is the 2018 reissue of this on the We Are Vinyl. The We Are Vinyl reissue. Great album from him. And the only, believe it or not, the only other album I have from him is God's Son, and I have an original promo copy of that. But I didn't have anything else. I have some singles, but that's about it. This is Nostradamus, which features Family with Mobb Deep, You Own Me featuring Genuine. The title track itself is brilliant. So yeah, I had to pick this album up. Of course, Nas being in my top 3 rappers of all time, so could not pass this album up, not when I had the opportunity to. And still don't own Illmatic, which is obviously his most famous album. I will at some point, but for now, Nostradamus is in my collection. And then the other album I grabbed, which is one I was meaning to grab ages ago, but never really got round to it. It's Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. This is his 3rd studio album. It's from 2015, and it is an incredible album. A Gatefold again. This album blew my mind when it came out. I don't think I listened to anything else that whole summer, because it was just a really incredible album. King Kunta, These Wolves, The Blacker the Berry, funny enough, this album and the Nas album I just showed both feature Ron Isley from the Isley Brothers, so there's a little connection there for you. This album, however, has 2 tracks with Thundercat on it as well. Bilal features on here, Snoop Dogg, Rhapsody features on this album, George Clinton features on this album. It's just an incredible album, and I can happily say that there is a very good reason Kendrick is also in my top 3 rappers of all time. Give this album a listen and you'll hear why. His lyricism here is brilliant, and yeah, the beats are just as good. So I can't not like Kendrick. He is absolutely incredible. I'm so stoked to finally own To Pimp a Butterfly in my collection. Alright, that's all the new vinyl, and we're 20 minutes in, so let's hope we can speed through this. This next one I'm going to show was a bit of an accidental purchase, not going to lie, but one I'm sort of happy about. It's the 7-inch single for Get Ready to Move by Regine Hayes. It's backed with I'll Be Sweeter Than Yesterday. Like when I say accidentally purchased, I bid on this by mistake on a Facebook auction that I'm a part of. I wasn't meant to. I was meant to bid on something else, but I didn't realise I bid on this by mistake. And I won that auction. I was like, oh, okay, that's the wrong thing, but it's only a couple of pounds. Can't be that bad. It's not terrible. It's not my favourite track, but it's a nice thing to have in my collection, and maybe I'll play it out when I'm DJing or something. I don't know, but hey, I've got it anyway. It's fine. A few freebies from work, and then we'll move on to the thrift store finds if we have time, because this video is stretching on a little bit. First thing is Miles J, Irresistible. This is his album from 1989. It's on Island Records. It's a very good album, and to be honest, when I first listened to the song on here, the big song on here called Heaven, I kid you not, I thought it was Teddy Pendergrass. He sounds so similar. I was listening to it and I was like, I didn't know Teddy made anything that sounds like this, and it wasn't until like a week or two later I discovered that it wasn't Teddy Pendergrass. It was Miles. It was this guy called Miles J. And I was like, man, I need to track this album down. If this guy's got so incredible, and I finally have it. I found it in the storeroom upstairs, and my boss was just like, that album's not expensive at all. You can just take it. And yeah, Heaven, like I said, is the big song on here, and it really is incredible. Miles J, I think, plays all the instruments on the song Heaven, other than the backing vocals, which is pretty incredible. There's a song on here that called Objective as well that features Grover Washington Jr. So there's a little interesting fact for you. But yeah, this is a great R&B album, and definitely worth listening to if you like laid back type of R&B. This is definitely one to listen to. Heaven in particular was a big song on here, and I think is even still played on soul radio stations today. I listen to one called Starpoint Radio, and they're always playing the song Heaven by Miles J. So had to grab that one. That was one of my that was a freebie. I really enjoyed that freebie. Great album there from him. And while we're speaking of soul, I also picked up got Alexander ONeal's debut album for free. I thought I already had it, and I remember Tavis showing this album on his Instagram, and I was like, hey, I've got that. And then as I was packing my records away, I realised, hang on, I haven't got it. And then we were playing it in the shop one day, and I was like, we got that album? And my boss was just only playing the MP3, and I was disappointed. And he remembered I asked him for it, and finally he tracked down a copy of it for me. So yeah, there it is, Alexander ONeal's debut. Has two big songs on here, What's Missing and If You Were Here Tonight. One sort of upbeat-ish, one that's very laid back, but this is probably the best album he's done. I'll be honest, it's from 1985 on Taboo, so the same record label as Sade and SOS Band and people like that. So very, very good stuff there. Actually, is it on? Yeah, it is on Taboo. This is a great album. If you're into soul R&B, this is one to check out for sure. But I like it. Yeah, that is it. Alexander ONeal's debut. Next up is the 12-inch single for Carl Anderson's Buttercup. It is the 12-inch gold series reissue. They do a lot of reissues. It's got Magic on the flip side. I think the song Buttercup originally came out in 82. This is like a reissue from 87 or something, but they always do reissues of songs that hit golds. So obviously they've done like Herbie Hancock Rocket, they've done Juicy Fruit by M-Tune, they've done Let's Groove by Earth, Wind & Fire, they've done Love Calm Down by Irvin Champagne King. Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff, and I finally have a copy of Buttercup by Carl Anderson. There we go. But yeah, been looking for a copy of the 12-inch or the album. I have the 12-inch, not the original 12-inch, but I'm happy with the reissue. It's fine. Couple more freebies, and then we get to the thrift store / charity shop finds. Bowling points. Let's get Functified. Part 1 and Part 2. If you don't know this, basically it's very similar to what the Brothers Johnson were doing a few years earlier. It has a very similar sound, like funk disco type of stuff. Very, very good. Give it a listen on YouTube. I obviously can't do needle drops at the moment, but if I could do needle drops, this is one I definitely do a needle drop of, because it's just that good. But yeah, you can find it on YouTube pretty easily. This is from 1978, but this is very good. A very good song, so definitely give that a listen when you get a moment. And then I also have a copy of the Doobie Brothers, The Captain and Me. This is one that I saw Jeff Kempin show, not just on Instagram, but I think he showed it on YouTube. And I don't remember anything about it. I just remember listening to it on his Instagram story and really digging the tracks that he played. So I was like, I gotta find a copy of that, and it came through. And my boss was like, yeah, just take it. Obviously it needs some repairing on the cover there, but very nice. This is obviously before Michael McDonald joined the Doobie Brothers, but this is still a great album from them. Their third album from 1973, and beautiful copy of this as well. Really, really nice. You don't see Doobie Brothers stuff a lot anymore, so nice to have that in the collection for sure. But yeah, another one inspired by the vinyl community itself, the Doobie Brothers, The Captain and Me. We're at 28 minutes. Do you think I've got time to show the charity shop stuff? No? I think this video's stretching on a bit long. We're at 28 minutes and I've still got loads of stuff to show. So we're going to leave it there for the time being. I'll show you the thrift store finds next time. I think that needs its own separate video. So I'll kind of do that in the next one. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I do upload Wednesdays and Sundays, but in case you forget or I throw in a curveball and upload on one of my days that's not an upload day, that bell notification, you press it, you'll get told when I upload. So just in case you forget or I do something a bit weird, you know, you guys will get told of it, but you've got to press that bell notification. So yeah, with that's all, well, with everything said, that's it for this video. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you again very soon. Peace.